We have nothing against foreigners, but they must be documented. We don't hate foreigners. We don't want people here. So to President Ramaphosa, many people are claiming now the changes that government is doing is because last week they started to march. Government don't operate like that. The issue has been on the table of the president. We hear law enforcement must handle this matter. To the young people, don't let them use you. Don't let them tell you on the 30th you must remove illegal foreigners. You will go to jail and they will not bail you out. They will be nowhere. The cops are the only people that must remove illegal foreigners. Don't use our children for your political agendas. Illegal foreigners must go, but not violently. We are not a violent country. And you must never move young people to do crime because you don't know jail. I'm speaking as a person that spent my whole youth in jail. I'm not going to sit in South Africa and hear young people are being given instructions on the 30th to hurt illegal foreigners. That one, it shall never happen for as long as I'm alive.
Quoting articles to you. I am quoting articles to you. The charter they adopted in 1884. They stated in Article 2 of this charter, no third world country constitutes a sovereign and independent state. Do you see how they got us? They take a document that is like a law, they don't sign it, and they lead African brothers to say the document is not signed. When they come to assassinate heads of state, they do sign. There are signed documents for assassinations. It is the actions that must be looked at. It is not a question of signing a document. That is Article 2. It is on the net. Type in the Charter of Imperialism. It says in Article 2, no third world country constitutes a sovereign and independent state. That means we who are dancing around saying, here are the independent states, we are just amusing ourselves. When they look at it, they even laugh. They say in Article 4, well, in Article 3 first, that any power in those countries that is not decided by them is considered null and void. It doesn't exist, you know. All power in third world countries emanates from us. We are the ones who constitute the powers, who exercise it through pressure on the leaders who are nothing but our puppets. It is written down clearly, and then no third world body can ever claim the exercise of it. Are we truly independent? Are we actually sovereign republics? They say in Article 4, all third world countries are divisible and their borders are movable according to our own will. It is a chilling assertion that leaves us questioning our very autonomy in this modern world. Respect for territorial integrity does not exist for the third world. Do you see? What does that mean? They have created texts at the level of which, exactly, they have created texts at the level of which we must be crucified. They add inside that any head of state in the third world, our countries there, the one who will oppose their interests must be executed. It is written in black and white. And when they say they must be executed, haven't they done it? They have done it. I have mapped it out. There are at least 28 including 22 heads of state, people who were in office whom they executed. And whoever wants it, I can pass on the list, but I will cite a few. The first one there is Juvenal Habyarimana, Rwanda, 1994. Second, Philippe Moumier, Cameroon. Ahidjo, Cameroon. Modibo Keita, poisoned, Mali. Patrice Lumumba, shredded, put in acid, January 17th, 1961. Daniel Ouezen Coulibaly, 12th arrondissement, Paris, poisoned, voltaic. Victor Biakaboda, hanged on January 28th, 1950 in Boafle, Ivory Coast. Samuel Kanyuntang, Liberia, in 1989. Laurent Désiré Kabila, etc. We could list them. You see, when they call each other, it's just the life of a black person there. It's like a code they're giving. Elizabeth gave the sardine. That could mean execute him. The bird has returned from the cemetery. That means eliminate him without anyone noticing. So these are the kind of people we are facing. They haven't changed their nature yet. Exactly, they haven't changed their nature. And here are also the four elements, the four reasons they gave to manipulate us. They say the first reason there is France's standing at the UN, that they must use African countries to vote for what France votes for. So us, treating our countries as republics and independent nations, that's what it is. To have states that are somewhat formal, which we can treat as independent on paper. So that when France raises its hand at the UN, even if it's against us, all of them must raise their hands too. Is that over? It is not over. I met, I said it last time, an ambassador, he brought that up. He says that he doesn't actually understand why things are tense between us and France, because before we used to vote for France at the UN anyway. Why won't we reconsider our position so that when France votes, whatever France says, we should vote that way? I said, but you are in a country, right? Why don't you vote the way France votes? Are we the ones who have to vote because France voted yes or no? That's not how it works. Is it over? It's not over. Second reason they say, it's access to our country's raw materials. Search online. Listen to de Gaulle's conference in Nijmegen on September 4th, 1961. He said, the Sahara, that's for them. You have to see how to build an airfield, exploit the oil, exploit the fresh water they found, and everything else they are going to find. And he even added, France has no friends, you know, it's a matter of interests. If they have to kill 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 to safeguard their interests there, they will do it. And do you think that because we are in the AES, they have changed their nature? Because a cat leaves and comes back home saying it didn't kill any mice. Do you believe that? So that means they are watching us. Third reason they said, it's the financing of French political life. They have to plunder us to finance their political life. And the fourth reason they say, it's France's role as a subcontractor for the United States. Don't think that just because it's France speaking, it doesn't have the support of other powers, eh? Anyone who makes that mistake is doomed. They are all the same. Behind the scenes, I repeat, they are all the same. And how do they act? When I say the DGSE is there, well, there you go. They said that within the DGSE, they have subdivided their intelligence services into 4 divisions. That's why I say they are among us into 4 divisions. First, they take the external documentation and counter-espionage service, which is in charge of disinformation. Those who post things on social media. Do you really think some of them aren't receiving things from the shadows? It's that service that is behind it, which is tasked with supporting people to produce fake news, insult, and even give them visas so they can leave the country. It is this service that is in charge. The second service is the DGSE. The main secret service abroad, which uses all means, including our own brothers and sisters, to infiltrate us and achieve their objectives. The third service is the DST, which gives the impression of operating inside France, but which is also active abroad. Now their military intelligence services complete the picture. Do you think people like that are just playing around? So when someone asks the question, yes, we don't have, is the AS evolving? Aren't we on the ground? Do you think that, when was the AS formed? September 16th, 2023? The Confederation just celebrated its 2nd year, didn't it? Since when did we say we've been independent? Since 1960, right? Do you think we can come in 3 or 4 years and clear away over 50 years of mud? Still, I think the heads of state who are at the head of the AES deserve congratulations and attention. But do you think that where they are right now, they are sleeping? I take His Excellency General Abdurrahman Chiani. Do you think he wouldn't like to get up, take a plane, and go get some fresh air? Haven't you seen an individual sitting on a watercraft, even though flames are burning his country? He's out on the water having fun. Do you think having fun isn't good too? Comrade Ibrahim Traore, how many years has he been in power? Have you seen him take a plane like that to go somewhere? It's not the same thing as Army General Assimi Goïta, but they are beings made of flesh, bone, and blood. They are also human. They also aspire to well-being, to comfort just like us. But people who are in a prison, they take their lives, they put them in a prison. They refuse to become overnight billionaires in order to defend us. And you, for whom someone agreed to put their life on the line because you didn't have water to drink, you are the one who can be swayed against that same person for the price of a snack. What kind of education have we received? That is why they say, woe to him who does not do better than his father. Our parents fell facing bullets to defend their dignity. As for us, what are we doing? When we talk about those parents, if it were a debate, you would find people who would start a debate at 2 p.m., even until 2 a.m. They are sitting there because it is a matter of national interest. But precisely when I make an appeal to the traditional leaders, it is said to accompany the youth. We must give them strength. But the traditional leaders too, look, is this youth patient? If a young person is not capable of sitting for 3 hours to wait for even an answer, that is not someone to whom you should give something good. They won't be able to master it. And that is very important. So we must be sure that the road leaving Niamey going to Ouagadougou and others, sooner or later the roads will be freed. They can only be freed. Now, when I say we must tell each other the truth, the harassment people talk about, paying on the road before moving, we must tell the truth to the leaders that we are and the truth to the populations. What kind of truth? Because for a police officer, a gendarme who wears the uniform in the name of the state, you check a Nigerian, he has all his documents. You check a Burkinabe, he has all his documents. You check a Malian, he has all his documents. Why do you take money? Why do you take money? Why do you take money? Isn't that what we call racketeering? And then you are in this rot. Afterwards they say, yes, he died alone in his house. It was on the third day that we saw it. It was the smells that alerted the neighbors. How did you want to die? You ate what you shouldn't have eaten. The second element that sent him there, since we even hear in society about what are called juicy positions, positions at the border. And when you dig a little deeper, it's not just anyone who gets up to go to a juicy position or a border post. You go and see for yourself. Yes, these are requests, petitions coming either from ministers or deputies or presidents of institutions or even senior executives saying, him right there, he's my protege, you need to place him here. The state has become a small group's asset where people are placed. No, the behavior must be correct. What does that mean? If we are in charge, we force ourselves to respect morality, to put all the country's children on an equal footing. Then conversely, at the societal level, those communities should facilitate the work for the leaders so that they can be correct. Why do I say that? If the general has decided that we must behave like revolutionaries, then what was done before, we must no longer do. But despite all that, you come along and pressure your brother because he's a minister, because he's been appointed, sent on a mission by the general, and you want him to get you special favors. Yet these are the very things we must fight against. So the population must not put pressure on those who have been sent on a mission, because that is racketeering. I want this, I want that. And when he doesn't do it, people start saying that he's not socially integrated, that he doesn't love his family. But you want, because the general sent him on a mission, he trusts him. Do you suddenly want him to create special favors to give to people just because they are relatives? And I say that in any society where the orphan cannot stop crying, where the widow continues to weep, where someone who has come from the depths of the village to the administration has to give a bribe of 1,000 or 2,000 francs just to get their file processed. That is not a state. In a state, everyone must be on an equal footing. The work must be done properly, but that assumes that the youth are mobilized. The youth are watching. The general does not have 1,000 eyes. He cannot be everywhere. In every village, in every neighborhood, it is you who must mobilize yourselves. If someone commits an act that is contrary to the guidelines he gives there, you tell the person concerned. That will not happen here. That is also what it means to safeguard power. That is what we call power of the masses. He cannot just take directions. He gives directions. He does not sleep. And then he watches his people. Not only are people less mobilized to protect him if they are not even being used, or worse, turned against him. When it is like that, we cannot move forward. There you go. So, regarding the question that was asked, the heads of state who said to attack Niger or Burkina or Mali within ECOWAS, are they Africans? Yes, they are Africans by skin color. But what has become of their brains? That is also why I told you, a man, you see, he educates himself, he trains himself. We must congratulate the general here, the general in Mali, and comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Do you know why? You have seen people who said they are Pan-Africanists, right? He is president, he travels, he goes to the Elysee. When he comes back the next day, his mouth is shut. Do you know what happened over there? So to go to Paris, to go meet these individuals, you also need to prepare yourself well in connection with your ancestors, because they are sitting there, waiting for you to do that. It's not good. You're going to go, they're going to give you strange Nescafe, strange teas, and you're going to drink them. They prepare a room, they send women to caress you, they film, they pose, and then afterwards they present it to you. Can you still speak? You can't speak. There you go. Because if you say anything, if you speak up, they take it, they show you, there you go. You're forced to shut up. That's one. Secondly, hitting the table there. There is what we call the African house, the African room. The room in which African heads of state are appointed. All those Democrats, they all pass through there, led by the former one. The one called Jacques Faucard. The one who studies, he takes your name, he notes it down, and then he transmits it. They put on a masquerade of an election, but it's you who will be selected as president in that room. Do you know what they buried over there? So this is not a game. So I will stop here so as not to monopolize the floor. Your heads of state are heads of state. What they managed to do in this short amount of time, they are sacrificing their lives so that we can move forward. Do not compare the progress of a country, everything that has been invested there, and comparatively in 3 years, you want to compare that to 50 years. Look at Burkina. It was just last month since independence, 50 years later. It was last month that we were able to perform the first kidney transplant, that is to say, changing someone's kidney in a hospital in Ouagadougou. Last month, and we're going to say that it's not moving forward. So I'll stop there to say, let's continue to mobilize. The head of state and his team must not lack support. In any case, whoever believes, who sits at home and says they are the ones in charge, it's their problem. If France sets foot here again, I have said that in the ARS we are sitting on a generational fragmentation explosive device. What does that mean? If we behave like fools and slip up and that device explodes, it's not just us, even our unborn children will pay the price. If France sets foot here again,